Hello, first and second grade students and families of our online program. I just wanted to check in and let you know we have a new change to our Pathblazer platform. So now when you log in, you're going to see Pathblazer Reading, Pathblazer Math, and Odyssey. So Pathblazer Reading is where you started, or Math, and you did a screener, and then you did a diagnostic potentially, or it just pushed you into some kind of a practice program. We're still going to work within those Pathblazer Reading and Pathblazer Math every day. We want to spend about 15 minutes each day working within those tabs because they're giving us practice and exposure to skills that we may have indicated that we need support in or that are considered essential for foundational skills. So as you click on the Pathblazer Reading or Pathblazer Math, it's going to show you with a snowflake where to start, and you'll work your way through, just timing yourself and focusing. Parents, they may need some extra support or practice in these areas, and that will be your job to recognize that if they're struggling or frustrated through those, that you can give them some supplemental activities or ideas of how to practice those skills. So every day, about 15 minutes in reading, 15 minutes in math, and then that will be addressing some of those pre-skills that we want to make sure we're not forgetting and practicing and getting improvement on. The Odyssey tab is where you're going to access your grade level curriculum. This is based off of the standards that your grade level is learning. So we have a language arts tile and we have a math tile. So we need to keep in mind, first of all, should have started with this. There's no way you're going to be able to spend 20 hours a week just in this Pathblazer program and have sufficient practice. There's not enough lessons or activities for you to get sufficient practice on these skills. You got to keep in mind in a classroom when new concepts are presented, they're explicitly taught, and then there's multiple ways the students are practicing and applying these skills. You can't do that on a computer. You can't practice handwriting. You can't really write on a computer program. So this is parents where you're going to step in and you're going to provide supplemental ideas for how your student can connect these skills to everyday tasks. It may be through writing, it could be through drawing, discussing, flashcards, other websites that have game-like or learning activities that you want to connect them to. But this is a big part for you parents because you're the one that is monitoring and you're seeing their frustrational level or where you can see they need a lot more support. So every day you're working in your Pathblazer Reading, your Pathblazer Math, each for about 15 minutes. When you get into the Odyssey tab, you're going to go into Language Arts and you're going to start lessons. You'll notice there is no snowflake when you go into the Odyssey tile. It's all by title. QTR stands for quarter, so quarter 1-1. This is my first tile I need to start on. You'll notice that they do not go in numerical order. It goes -10, -11, -12. So parents, you're going to have to watch and make sure that they're advancing to the right tile. So we go from 1 down to, whoops, slid down too far, 2. And then you got all the 20s there. That's going to be confusing, so you got to make sure you get to 3, 4, 5, working your way all the way through the tiles. There is not a lesson for every day. There is not a lesson for every day because some of these lessons need a couple days of focus. You're going to learn a lesson and there's going to be some activities there. When you see resource, it means there's something there that you can print or look at for an idea of how to supplement some ideas with your child. But it's not enough. When you're practicing a long vowel with silent E, it is not enough just to go through a lesson, have a couple practice activities, and take a quiz. They need to apply this skill, look for words that have these patterns, make lists, find them in books, newspapers, websites. They need to read. They may need to do some flashcards with words that have that pattern that they can just quickly look at and read. This is going to be your role, parents. You're a big part of this instruction, and it's going to take a ton of time and commitment, and we appreciate it because this is essential for these early reading skills in these first and second graders. Something to point out, I know I commented there's no snowflake here until you get into a tile. When you get into the tile, the snowflake shows you the order you're going to go through the lesson. When you see this symbol right here, it's telling you that this is a graded activity And if they do not score at least 80% on this activity, it is going to push them back into instruction and have them retest differently. It could be the same test out of order. It could be totally new questions. But they're figuring something was maybe not focused on. We might need to do a little repeat. But again, you're going to need to supplement this. And it's okay to not do a lesson every day. There isn't a lesson for every day. You're going to have to do a lesson, spend about 45 minutes doing supplemental practice, and the next day, the next day you may not even do a lesson. You may need another 45 minutes of targeted practice for 2 or 3 days. If you really add that up, that's an hour and a half, a couple hours. They easily spend that much time, more than that time, on targeting these essential skills in these early reading foundations. So take the time. You need to be engaged in seeing what your child's doing and support them until they have that mastered, not just good guessing and clicking through lessons. So language arts, organized that way by title. When you get into the math tile, you'll see as well, it's not asterisked, it's all by title, quarter 1, number 1. This is the first lesson that's going to happen. When you look at these titles, we have included the standard, the curriculum standard, because sometimes it's hard to figure out how to connect math and you may need some ideas. You can literally Google that code. This is an example from a second grade account. This is a second grade, and this is the code for the particular area, the objective, and the standard. You can Google that. It will connect you to sites that could potentially be good practice sites, or it can give you ideas of different tasks that are appropriate for that type of a skill. So this was just meant to give you a support for finding some activities if you needed to reach out. So math, we're going to do a lesson, and we're going to spend 30 minutes a day targeting those math skills, those essential math skills. Again, that could be creating problems for them. They could be drawing it out. They could be teaching you what it is, giving you examples. They do very well. When they get to be the teacher and they can explain it very clearly, you know they've got it. You might need to do flashcards, number facts. We got to keep in mind, these are the early grades. We've got to get these cemented down. So check the tile numbers, make sure you're going in order. It goes from 1 to 10. That's not right. We need to skip down here until we get to the 2 and stay within the order of the lessons. You'll notice there are not enough lessons to do one every day. So just repeat. You're going to need to target these skills. It is perfectly appropriate to spend a couple days within each of these content areas and really get it learned, not just good guessing, not I'm pretty sure they got it. You know with confidence that they have these skills. So 15 minutes a day in PathBlazer reading, 15 minutes a day in PathBlazer math. You're going to get into language arts and spend at least 45 minutes on a targeted focus within language arts, 30 minutes within math, and then we need to be reading. Reading is not going to occur within this program. We need to have the kids reading on their independent reading level. So we have Raz Kids, which the logins will be sent for those for you to access. It's a library of leveled books. They can read their own physical books if they want, but this is so important. They actually need to be engaged in reading every day for 60 minutes. That doesn't mean 60 minutes straight. Break that 60 minutes up in little small chunks. They should be writing about what they've read or drawing a picture about what they've read. They should be discussing afterwards what they have read. You want to connect these language arts skills that they're learning into their reading. Point out those patterns of words. Have them explain new vocabulary. Have them practice reading with expression. This is where you're going to engage with them at random times. They can read independently. Don't just turn them loose and not check on them. Go back in and make sure that they're reading. Ask them questions. Comprehending what they read is so essential. Not just reading the words right, but actually understanding what you're reading. We also have, for all of the first graders, they will be getting a Waterford reading link, which is all based on the early foundation reading skills. Second graders are welcome to have that link set up as well for them. So parents, if you feel like Waterford reading would be something that your student would be benefiting from, if they're struggling with reading, having some struggles with some of those phonics patterns from first grade, let's get a link sent out to you and they can work in this program, Waterford reading, for 20 minutes every day. Every school has some kind of a math supplement program. It's either iReady or ST Math. You will be getting one of those links as well. and you should spend 20 minutes a day in that. All of those licenses are currently being activated, logins are being set up, so we're expecting those to be live by the second week of September. If they're available anytime sooner, we will be sending those out to you. So 15 minutes in reading, 15 minutes in PathBlazer math, 45 minutes in language arts, 30 minutes in math, 60 minutes a day working on independent reading. That includes high frequency words, all of those things that fit under reading. And when you get your Waterford link, that'll be 20 minutes a day, and your supplemental math program will be 20 minutes a day, and you're easily going to be hitting about 4 hours a day of instruction. You can do those hours at any time you want on any day of the week, but there is an expectation that 5 days a week, 4 hours a day will be dedicated to learning. Please reach out if you have any questions or concerns. We want to make sure that we're here to support you. Parents, thank you. This is a huge task you've taken on, but we are so thankful that you are able to commit to helping your students learning these essential skills where they're not able to be attending physical school right now. Please reach out if you have any questions. Thank you.